Imagine being born into a world you never asked for, a world of pain, struggle, and uncertainty. You did not choose this life, and yet, from the very first breath, you are trapped in it. Some children are born into horror before they can even cry. A baby beaten to death by the hands that should have protected them. An infant left to starve on the streets while the world looks away. Newborns trapped in war zones, screaming as bombs destroy their homes, watching parents murdered before they can even walk. Children born with terminal illnesses, each heartbeat a countdown, each breath a battle against pain they cannot understand. Others are trafficked or sold before they can speak, their lives stolen before they even begin. Some are born into neglect so severe that fear becomes their first teacher, pain their only companion, and death closer than comfort. Life is not a gift. For millions, it is a nightmare imposed without choice. A child is born with leukemia, fighting each day for survival, needles piercing their tiny arms, pain constant, hope fragile. Another enters the world in famine, their stomach hollow, body wasting, the first cry a plea for life that may go unanswered. A toddler beaten, abandoned, or forced into labor learns suffering before language. Others are born into isolation, trapped in luxury yet starved for love, drowning under pressure, haunted by loneliness. Life is a lottery, and the numbers are never fair. Survival is not proof of value, it is proof of endurance in a world that does not care. Imagine a child hiding in rubble as bombs collapse buildings around them, trembling, terrified, too young to understand why the world has turned against them. Picture an infant alone in a garbage-strewn street, reaching for scraps, crying for food that never comes. Picture a newborn writhing in pain from a rare disease, every breath a reminder that existence is not gentle. Now contrast this with another child, born into wealth and safety, yet isolated, ignored, imprisoned by expectations no one asked them to bear. Even comfort cannot shield anyone from the cruelty of existence. Ask yourself, if you could choose before birth, knowing this would be your reality, would you choose to exist? Some children endure unimaginable horrors, yet all are forced into life without consent. Philosophers from Schopenhauer to David Benatar argue that existence is suffering, that non-existence might be the kinder option. The ethical question is unavoidable. Can we justify imposing life on someone destined for pain before they even take their first breath? Even survival does not guarantee freedom from suffering. Children who endure abuse, neglect, or disease carry scars invisible to the world. Trauma, anxiety, fear, loneliness. Some survive the worst, but millions never get that chance. Life does not discriminate. Pain is universal. Happiness is fleeting. Innocence is fragile. And billions are thrown into this brutal lottery each year, never given a choice. Consider the extremes. A child born to parents who never wanted them, punished for existing. A newborn beaten into silence before they can even cry. A child trapped in a famine, surviving day to day, never knowing warmth, comfort, or safety. A child born with a terminal illness whose life is defined by pain from the first second. A child who loses their family in an instant, forced to navigate a world of predators and cruelty with no guidance or protection. Yet society calls this life a gift. For those living it, life is punishment. Birth is a decision imposed without consent. Even the lucky are not free. A child may escape disease or violence but cannot escape heartbreak, betrayal, or death. Every human experiences loss. Every human faces fear. Every human faces mortality. Life does not discriminate between the innocent and the guilty, the strong and the weak, the rich and the poor. Every birth is a roll of the dice, and most are dealt hands filled with suffering. And yet billions continue to be born into this chaos. Life offers rare glimpses of beauty, a child surviving against all odds, a soul overcoming horrors unimaginable. But for every miracle, millions remain trapped, unnoticed, forgotten. Life is indiscriminate. Life is brutal. Life is a game with no fairness, no rules, and no consent. Now, feel it. Hear the cries of children lost in rubble, Smell the hunger gnawing at their stomachs. See the fear in eyes too young to understand death. Touch the pain that stretches across generations. Every birth imposes pain. Every life carries uncertainty. Every breath may be your first encounter with suffering, and yet billions are forced into this world each year, never asked if they want to play. Even the stories of survival carry shadows. Some children escape famine only to face exploitation. Some survive war only to live in orphanages with no love, no warmth, no safety. Some are saved from disease only to be crushed under the weight of expectation, bullying, or social isolation. Life does not forgive. Life does not reward consistently. Life punishes relentlessly. And still, you sit here listening. You are alive, but what about them? What about the billions whose lives are nightmares before they can speak? Survival is not proof of worth. Living is not proof of value. Birth itself is imposition. And for many, the kindest act would have been never to exist. This is just the beginning. The cruelty of existence doesn't stop here. It only gets darker. We'll explore realities even more extreme, questions you're not ready to answer, and truths that will linger long after the video ends. But here's the cruel paradox. Knowing all this, we still create life. We still bring children into a world soaked in pain. Why? Because we convince ourselves that maybe this one will be different. Maybe this one will survive. Maybe hope will outweigh horror. Parents look into their newborn's eyes and whisper promises they can't keep. You'll be safe. You'll be happy. You'll have a better life. Lies wrapped in love. Because even love, at its core, is desperate, a fragile rebellion against the truth of suffering. Society clings to illusions, religion, destiny, purpose to make existence bearable. But strip it all away, and what remains? A cycle of birth, struggle, decay, and death. Yet within that chaos, a few souls rise. They stare into the darkness and do not look away. They find meaning not in escaping pain, but in understanding it, in turning suffering into strength. Perhaps that is the only redemption life offers, not peace, but awareness. And so the question evolves. If we must suffer, can we at least choose what that suffering means? Imagine being thrown into a world you never asked for. Your first breath is your first contract, one you didn't sign. The clauses? Pain, fear, neglect, and the constant looming possibility of death. Welcome to life. Congratulations. No refunds, no exchanges. Try Amazon Prime next time. Some children are born into violence before they even understand language. Babies beaten by hands that should cradle them. Infants left to starve on streets paved with indifference. Children trapped in rubble as bombs erase homes, families, innocence. Every scream swallowed by chaos. Others arrive with bodies that betray them. Terminal illnesses that begin the countdown before they even learn to smile. Trafficked, sold, abandoned. Existence becomes an unasked lottery ticket with no winning numbers. And the world calls it a gift. Sure, gift-wrapped horror, with a bow that cuts. Then there's the child born into privilege. Gold cots, endless toys, safety shields, but no one sees them. They are suffocated by expectations, isolated, invisible in the crowd of wealth. Their cries are drowned by schedules, grades, therapy appointments, and the subtle tyranny of perfection. Even abundance cannot shield from the slow drip of suffering. The only difference, their luxury pain comes with a side of organic kale and Instagram filters. On the bright side, if they survive, they can always complain about it on social media in 15 years. Imagine a child whose caregivers are ghosts, physically present but emotionally absent. Meals may be skipped, punishment arbitrary, affection conditional. Every day is a gamble. Will today be calm or a minor apocalypse over spilled cup of milk? Childhood, a battlefield where victory is measured not in happiness, but in breaths survived. And don't worry, they'll have plenty of anecdotes for future therapy sessions, for your next cocktail party small talk. Picture the systemic horrors, labor camps, Overcrowded orphanages, streets filled with predators. Exploitation normalized, neglect invisible. Every day a silent scream. Millions walk these invisible prisons daily. Each day survived is a fragile victory, yet trauma, fear, and eroded hope are their constant companions. Bright side? They're automatically enrolled in life's cruelest survival course. No syllabus, just pop quizzes and suffering. Even survival doesn't guarantee freedom. Those who endure famine, abuse, or war carry invisible scars. Anxiety, fear, trauma, invisible jailers. Some endure, some break. Some become unrecognizable to themselves. Life punishes universally. Scarcity, abundance, neglect, expectation. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't negotiate. It just collects its toll. Now layer in the irony. Society insists life is precious, a gift. Spoiler alert, it's more like a subscription service with mandatory pain, optional happiness, and no cancellation policy. The child who survives disease still faces bullying. The one who escapes war is haunted by memories no therapy can erase. The one shielded by wealth fights invisible battles, loneliness, pressure, performance. All forms of suffering are equal in life's ledger. Ask yourself, if you could choose, knowing all this, would you want to exist? Philosophers from Schopenhauer to David Benatar would say no. Non-existence may have spared the innocent, yet billions are still born. Hope flickers, yes, a tiny flame in the storm. But sometimes, hope is just another way to prolong the inevitable. It's like handing someone a golden shovel and saying, dig your own grave, with style. Even lucky children are trapped. Heartbreak, betrayal, death, inevitability. Loss touches all. Fear touches all. Survival is no proof of worth. Joy, no proof of value. Innocence, shattered before it takes root. Happiness, fleeting. Life's lottery is rigged, and everyone rolls the dice, whether they like it or not. The house always wins. But hey, at least the chips are biodegradable. And yet billions continue to be born. Life's cruel rhythm marches on. Some children do survive against impossible odds. Miracles happen. Some rise, stronger, wiser, unbroken. But for every one of them, millions remain trapped, unnoticed, forgotten. Life punishes relentlessly. It forgives rarely, rewards inconsistently. Survival is the prize. Happiness is a cruel afterthought. And yet society continues to insist life is beautiful. Beautifully tragic, maybe. Now immerse yourself fully. Even survival carries shadows. Children may escape immediate danger, yet the invisible scars remain. Trauma becomes a constant companion. Anxiety lurks in the corners. Fear is a teacher that never graduates. Some endure, some break, some wander adulthood carrying weight too heavy for childhood's shoulders. Life is relentless, impartial, indiscriminate. Pain is foundational. Happiness? Optional, if you're lucky. Consider extremes, children unwanted, punished for existing. Newborns abandoned in alleys, children trapped in famine, disease, or war. Some lose families in a single night, forced to navigate predators, cruelty, and chaos. And yet, society insists life is a gift. Spoiler, the gift is wrapped in suffering, tied with uncertainty, and delivered without consent. Even survivors are not exempt. Escape one form of cruelty, and another awaits. Emotional neglect, societal pressure, isolation, betrayal. Life does not forgive. Life punishes. Life collects in ways small and catastrophic. And yet, billions continue to be born. Each a story of endurance in a world with no manual, because guess what? The manual doesn't exist. And if it did, it would probably be in Sanskrit. Finally, ask yourself, what does all this mean for us, the living? If existence is suffering, if birth is imposition, if survival is endurance, can hope, joy, and meaning ever be more than temporary illusions? And if they are illusions, are we fooling ourselves? Or are we simply too afraid to face the truth? Life is a cruel theater, and we're all actors, except no one gave us the script. Imagine existence stripped bare. No illusions, no distractions, no comfort. Just life in its raw, unflinching cruelty. Every birth is a roll of the dice, every life a gamble. Some enter screaming, others fade silently before their first breath. Some are born to fight impossible odds, others to suffer quietly, unnoticed, forgotten. Consider the child born into abuse so relentless that safety is foreign. Walls meant to protect are prisons. Every cry met with violence, every touch with pain, and yet society whispers, life is precious. Precious for whom? Certainly not for those whose first memories are terror and blood. Now the paradox. Another child is born into extreme wealth, every need met, every desire fulfilled, yet freedom is gone. Pressure suffocates, expectations chain every move, mistakes punished by shame. Even privilege cannot shield anyone from the cruelty of existence. Life is a lottery, and even winners are trapped. Ask yourself, would you choose this life if you could? Could you consent to endless uncertainty, pain, and mortality before your first breath? The cruel truth, most never have a choice. Birth is an imposition, a decision made without consent, yet consequences are eternal. Some children are born into war zones. They see parents killed, homes burned, friends vanish. They learn survival before they learn to walk. Some are born with terminal illness, every heartbeat a countdown. Others are abandoned in streets, orphanages, or labor camps, taught fear as their first language. Millions endure this silently, yet life continues. Billions of births every year, the cycle unbroken. Even those who survive horrors carry invisible scars. Trauma, anxiety, grief, and fear shadow every decision, every interaction, every heartbeat. Life does not erase scars, it piles them higher. Some cope, others are broken forever. Survival is not proof of happiness, nor is living proof of a life well lived. The world itself adds cruelty. In 2022 alone, over 5 million children under 5 died from preventable causes. Tens of millions are trapped in child labor, trafficking, or exploitation. Some babies never hear a lullaby. Some die quietly in alleys or hospital beds, unnoticed, unremembered. And yet, life goes on, celebrated as a gift. Now, imagine it closer. A child born into famine, ribs protruding, stomach hollow, skin taut over bones, each cry ignored. Another born into extreme wealth, coddled yet isolated, suffocated by expectations, their laughter rare, their freedom stolen. Both exist, both trapped, both imposed upon without consent. Life punishes indiscriminately. Pain is inevitable. Happiness is fleeting. Here's a thought experiment. What if your entire life was just inherited pain? What if love itself was only a temporary distraction from suffering? What if the act of being born was the cruelest gift of all? Would you choose to exist knowing the answers before your first breath? Some children are born only to die within days or weeks, tiny bodies failing before consciousness can even understand the world. Others inherit generational trauma, abuse repeated, neglect repeated, suffering repeated, a cycle with no end. Billions are thrown into this reality each year, never asked if they want to play. Even survival is not escape. Children who endure famine, abuse, or war may survive physically, but carry scars invisible to the world. Trauma shapes every thought, every decision, every heartbeat. Some cope, others are broken forever. Life does not forgive, life punishes relentlessly. And yet, life continues. Some survive unimaginable odds. Some rise stronger, wiser, unbroken. But for every rare miracle, millions remain trapped, suffering silently, unnoticed, forgotten. Life is a game with no rules, no fairness, no consent. Let's layer in a final brutal paradox. Some think survival is victory. But what if survival is only prolonging pain?
What if the cruelest fate is not death, but living? What if being born is the first moment of suffering, and each day is an extension of imposed cruelty? Ask yourself this: if a child is born knowing every person they love will die painfully, would you call that life a blessing? If a child is born into endless cycles of poverty, abuse, or neglect, can existence be justified? If every moment is unpredictable and every breath could be their last, is birth a gift or a burden imposed without choice? Now, reflect on consciousness itself. The mind, capable of thought, memory, and feeling, can experience fear, regret, loss, and pain long before understanding joy. The first cry may be for survival, the last thought, a longing for release. We are thrown into life without permission, forced to navigate an existence that punishes as much as it rewards.
Even the rare moments of joy are fleeting. A child may survive against all odds, but for every triumph, thousands remain trapped. Happiness is temporary, suffering is the default. Every life is imposed, every choice constrained, every moment uncertain. Birth is a decision made without consent, existence is a gamble. And still billions continue to be born. Every birth carries consequences. Children inherit a world of pain, suffering, and uncertainty. Society celebrates life while ignoring that most never asked to begin. Birth is assumed a gift, yet for countless souls, it is the start of suffering, struggle, and inevitable death. Life imposes without consent, without explanation, without mercy. Now immerse yourself fully. Hear the cries of children lost in rubble. Feel hunger gnawing at bodies, smell smoke and despair, taste fear in the air. Every birth imposes pain, every life carries uncertainty, every breath may be your first encounter with suffering, and yet billions are forced into this world each year, never asked if they want to play. Repeat this in your mind: would you choose to be born? This is not just a question, it is the brutal, haunting reality of existence. You are alive, watching, breathing. Others were not. Every birth is a gamble, every life a story of imposed suffering. Now that you have seen the truths most fear to confront, one question remains: would you choose to be born? Would you dare to face the darkness life forces upon you? If you survive this journey, if your mind still survives, and your curiosity dares, subscribe. Join those who question everything, who refuse to live in lies, who seek the reality no one else will show. Comment below, tell us your answer. Would you dare to be born, knowing all you now know? Only the ones who dare will answer. And remember, this is only the beginning. The next truth is darker, stranger, more unforgiving. Subscribe, stay in the rift, and witness the world as it truly is if you survive it.